So I'm going to start the presentation today. First of all, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Lieutenant Colonel Nidhi Shiv Kumar. I am a doctor, first of all. I was with Indian Armed Forces as a psychiatrist, and I left Indian Army after serving for about 24 odd years. I'm a doctor. That is what I want to make very, very clear to you. I deal in psychiatry and I treat the mental health issues like depression, anxiety, stress related disorders, insomnia, and many more. So I'm going to give a talk today with how can we maintain our mental health, how can we find our calm, and how can we navigate through the life's various stressors. To be very frank, I'm not the correct person for this, but I'll try to help you to make you understandable and or make you sensible towards the mental health. We often take care of our health, and most of us believe that health means physical health. But health, from my side, the mental health is a state of mental well-being which deals with four different issues. One is a person should be able to cope up with day-to-day life stresses. He or she may be able to realize his limitations in life. A wise man is who knows what he don't know. That is what is to know his abilities, to learn well from what he has done in life, what he has experienced in life. And last but not the least, he can be able to contribute to the society in this four things. If you have, you then you have a good or well state of mental well-being, right? Can I have the nice next slide, please? Yeah. Now, we all struggle for mental peace. We must accept it. Even I am, being a psychiatrist, I am also suffering from mental peace. I have many responsibilities in my life. So do you, must be having. Stress is inevitable. It is something which cannot be avoided. But what can we do to escape stress? We can have our own preparedness for the stress because stress is inevitable. Now, this slide shows that stress varies from a very low spectrum to a very high spectrum. In between is the stress, which is a moderate level stress, which is actually necessary for a day to day functioning. For example, if I share with you a T20 match of cricket match, in the last 5 overs, the run rate goes superbly very high, very, very high. And why it goes very high? The performance increases because the stress goes to a moderate level or little higher level. But on the contrary, if the stress remains for a higher level for a very, very long time, that's called chronic stress, then it becomes distress. Then it results in mental illness, right? So this is a normal curve of stress. We must all understand. Can I have the next slide, madam? Yeah, this is a simple formula which I thought I must share with you, that stress is equal to pressure more than your own resources, right? If you have less resources, if you are less prepared, or you have a poor mental health, you are more vulnerable, then you will feel stress more. However, stress is a subjective phenomena also at the same time, right? Can I have the next slide, madam? I'll keep the presentation very short, very small. I would like to have your inputs and your interaction more than my lecture, right? We all suffer stress at workplace because of three reasons like rudeness or bossiness and aggressiveness. Believe me or not, the the more relaxed the working environment, the more productive the people are. This the bosses should understand, the administration and people in higher echelon should understand that try to create a workplace which is easy, which is more connected together to have the best results at the workplace. Can I have the next slide, madam? Now, at workplace, I just did a survey and I came to know following 4 points as the most stressful for any worker: the rules, the regulations, the red tapeism, and finally the deadline. People, what they gave me the input is that the deadline is the most stressful for them. When they get some project in hand with a tagline that to be finished by such date, such as such time, that itself, the sentence itself, creates stress in the mind and reduces the productivity of the employee, of the person. Regulations, rules, again produces stress, but that is tolerable and that is necessary. Can I have the next slide, madam? Is the next slide available, ma'am?
Yes, doctor, this is the next slide.
Yeah. Can I have the next slide? Can I have the next slide? If not possible, then I can read it from my own presentation.
Hi, doctor. We are moving the slides. Are you not able to see it?
No, no, no. I'm stuck at the eighth slide.
Okay, we might have to remove the sharing and share it again.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Now I can see the slide. I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
doctor.
Okay. 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 So, sorry for the glitch in the computer and the machine. Uh, this actually produced a little stress in me. Well, coming to ninth slide, life events, we all agree they produce a certain kind of stress in all of us, and we all go through all these 5 4 5 points in our life. Birth is a stress, believe me or not. Death, again, of a close member of or a friend or a associate produces stress. Interpersonal conflicts in the social or occupational sphere of life, yes, they produce a chronic stress. Getting promotion or not getting promotion in the work job again produces stress. A particular type of stress which I'm witnessing in my practice in Dubai is marital disharmony. Marital discord produces tremendous stress in both the individuals and reflects to the complete family. Can I have the next slide, please, ma'am? Yeah, we all, as I said, we all suffer from stress. But what can we do? we have to do certain kind of introspection. We have to identify, sit quietly and find where exactly the source of the stress coming to you. Sometimes, many a times, we go on overlooking the stress in us, but we have to sit and do some introspection, that what is actually disturbing our mental peace. So, next slide, please. When you identify, when you sit, mostly we come to pinpoint the exact cause of stress or anxiety. uh, these are the four points where we actually, I find that stress is the epicenter. One is work pressure or the workplace, relationship, interpersonal relationship, financial worries, and our own internal fears. With internal fears, what I mean is many of us, they see themselves in a low self-esteem. They underestimate their own capabilities, their own abilities. So, such fear, that is called internal fear of any individual. Next slide, can I have? Right now, okay, once you pinpoint the stress in your life which is coming and in disturbing your mental peace, you have to sort it out ASAP. If this is a toxic relationship, you have to work it out, talk it out. If it is over workplace, find out where is the conflict, who is actually disturbing you. And if it is a too demanding job, lack of boundaries are there. The lack of boundaries means lack of occupational and social life boundaries. Mobile phone has created a dissolution of our occupational life and our personal life. You all will agree with me that the moment we go home, we reach home, home sweet home, we realize we get a message on a WhatsApp or a mail that uh, following things or project has to be done by tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. So there is, actually speaking, we all are 24 by 7 working, most of us. Now, if we examine our self conflicts or internal conflicts, it arises from one unresolved trauma in the childhood, our tendency to do perfectionism, like most of us who are successful individuals who are at the top ranks are generally perfectionist individuals. Perfectionism doesn't go hand in hand with human. Being human is something which is not perfect at all. So I would request all of you not to aim for perfectionism. Just keep your work and be human. It is human to do mistakes. It is human to accept yourself because you are something unique of yourself. You have a unique DNA, which nobody in this earth has got. So never doubt yourself, your capabilities. You are the product of Almighty God. Okay, I'm little philosophical at this moment, but it actually is the fact. So ask yourself, are you amplifying your stress? Is your mind increasing it? Can I have the next slide? Prioritize it clearly where exactly the stress is coming to it. In my practice in Dubai, I came with a belief that this is a very peaceful place. This is a happening place, and people will be very happy. But sadly, I'm realizing that it is quite stressful. Most of the individuals who are successful are also stressful. The higher you go, the higher the stress is there. One thing which I have grasped here is the financial stressor in most of my patients. That is a peculiar to most of the metro cities of across the world. We must acknowledge it. We must cut it down and discuss somebody who is a financial advisor how to remain within one's own financial limits. Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, we can reframe our challenges in our mind. That is the basis of cognitive behavioral therapy, which we give to our patients. Like whenever a negative thought comes to your mind, try to counterattack. Like, for example, I can't handle this thing. This thing can be reframed in your mind that yes, this it is tough, but I have overcome the challenges like this before also. Believe me or not, if you just reframe in your mind, you will be able to bypass the stressor in a better way. It's just the way you think or you look at a bottle. Either it is half full or fully full or a half empty. It's just a perception. Next slide, please. We must practice gratitude towards God or Almighty whenever we get up. I will. I'm sure you will all agree with me. The moment you get up in the morning, the first thing you do is pick up the mobile and open that 6.1-inch nonsense screen and scroll some or the other messages. So I would request all of you not to do that immediately after 5 to 10 minutes of getting up. Rather than practice gratitude, pray your God, which whoever is your Almighty God, and thank to the God of the joy on and the blessings of the God. Believe me, all the listeners who are right now listening to me, including me, are less than 10% of the world's population. Today world is in a chaotic state. uh, Children are dying of hunger and communicable illnesses, dying of war. I mean, so we are the 10% of the individual who have, number one, a stable income, a clothing, we have three meals, we have a roof on our head. So must practice gratitude. By practicing this gratitude to Almighty, we counter the stress to a large extent, right? Set your boundaries. uh, I must say that administrators and bosses will not agree with me, but I'm trying to say no to non-essential commitments. Plan your commitments as urgent, not so urgent, essential and non-essential. So if you divide them, you will be able to recharge yourself, take control of the condition, learn to say no. If you keep on saying yes, sir, you will experience more and more and more stress in life. Can I have the next slide, madam? Yeah, this is a very, very important slide, which I am actually witnessing as a psychiatrist. A lot of my OPD patients are the victim of social media, something I call Facebook or WhatsApp, whatever it is. A study was done in psychiatry which shows that average individual picks up his or her phone more than 2,200 times in a day, and takes around 34 GB of memory, nonsense and sensical, to the mind. So you are exposing your mind to unnecessary, toxic, excessive news and all kind of fake books. Like most of your friends, they post all the good news about success stories on the fake book, which actually isn't the truth of life. You must agree with me that you guys will not post anything of your failure or your children's failure or your failed relationship on a Facebook. So avoid these kind of unnecessary social media exposure in your life. Can I have your next slide, please? Yeah, build a support system if possible. Most of us are staying, you'll agree that we are staying away from our family in this part of the country. So we are by nature more prone for stress. If we compare anybody who is with family, with children, with parents, it is a kind of this produces a kind of immunity to stress for a person. Connect with your trusted friends, stay connected with like-minded people, and if you need a therapist or a counselor, please don't hesitate to consult a psychiatrist, right? Sharing your struggles will not make you coward, or will not make you any less than others. Discuss with your If you share your problems, it will be hard. If you share your joy, it will be doubled, right? So share your struggles either with your parents, close friends, buddies, your own spouse. This again is an important thing, as most of us are these days started taking care of their physical health of around 30 minutes of walking 3 to 4 times in a week produces good hormones, good neurotransmitters, endorphins in the body, which helps to uplift your mood, makes you happy, and makes you focus in a better way in life. Must have 7 to 8 hours of sleep each day in a 24 hours cycle. A chunk of my patients are suffering from insomnia. Insomnia is a very common presentation of a underlying emotional distress, right? Can I have the next slide, ma'am? Okay. Embrace the acceptance. Happiness can only exist in accepting what you are. You are what not others label you are. So don't accept what is commented by others in a negative or a positive way. Rather than accept yourself as an individual who is unique. Success is not about being a CEO, being a chairman, or being in a higher position in life. Success is in various domains of our life. How good you are a husband, how good you are a father, how good you are a son or a daughter. That also is one of the domains of being successful. You may flip over the success stories of Elon Musk and other personalities. You'll come to know that they are a failure in many of the domains of their lives, which you aren't. So accept yourself and the situations in yourself. Start not blaming yourself for others' behavior, right? So can I have the next slide, ma'am? Yeah, this is a interesting slide which I got to download from the internet. If there is a project which is big, which is too big for you, overwhelming, uh, plan ahead, keeping time in your hand, and break it into small pieces. Do step by step, little growth and you will be able to reach and complete the task or project or assignment in a better way. If it is in the financial spheres, again the same principle goes. Start saving a little bit of your earning, so that you can spend those earning in a correct way. It just gives you a kind of sense of control in your life, and helps as a stress buster. Now, long term practices in the stress management. First and foremost, please treat yourself with a kindness. Always look into the mirror, and tell yourself that you are the best person in this world today. Okay? Avoid self-criticism. A lot of my patients, lot of us, they keep criticizing their own self. it is not it is not human to be not making a mistakes. Okay, you are a one of your kind, one in billions of people. You are the only one who has that DNA of your parents. So stop criticizing yourself. Be kind to yourself, because you are a product of your parents, your God. Okay, engage in some creative hobbies. Now we all are here sitting in this room. I'm sure you guys must have had a hobby once upon a time in life. Try to rediscover those hobbies. Maybe some of those hobbies may sound you irrational, childish, but it helps to it helps as a stress buster, like painting, sketching, gardening, singing, playing a guitar is a hobby. I am not again. I'm not saying to perfect or do the perfection in your hobby, but spend some time in your hobby also. Okay, I'll go to the next slide. Can I have the next slide, ma'am? Yeah, coming. When to seek my help? When to seek the help of a psychiatrist? It is first of all you should accept it's okay to be not okay. Okay, so when the stress feels unmanageable, it is disturbing both your family life as well as your occupational life, then I think you need consultation of a specialist who is a psychiatrist who can help you in underlying psychiatric illness. Then there are some therapists also, counselors also, who are not doctors but who helps the psychiatrist to provide a holistic treatment, right? There are many support groups available on the internet, like on anxiety, schizophrenia, alcohol anonymous. They offer community and shared coping tools, so you can take the help of that of those support groups also. Can I have the next slide, madam? Now we are coming to the end of the my presentation. Someone asked me, doctor, can you describe how can I have immediate calm? Well, there is no way of getting an immediate calm, but breathing relaxation exercises have been proven to reduce your blood pressure, your pulse rate, and make you little calm. I have practiced it on myself, something called as 478 kind of a technique. Inhale slowly over a 4 second period, hold your breath for 7 seconds, and exhale it. Okay. Now, may I know how many of here are smokers? I know nobody will pick a raise hand here. We are little. Okay, great. I'm getting few raised hands. I'm proud of my listeners today. I first of all admit that I am a smoker, so don't feel shy about being a smoker. I am not endorsing smoking here, but I am telling you why a smoker smokes. Have you ever evaluated? Have you ever looked closely what a smoker does? He or she inhales deeply and holds it for a few seconds and then exhales it. So actually what they are doing is a kind of breathing exercise, but in the same go they are damaging their lungs and heart also. So I'm not endorsing smoking, but breathing deeply in a 478 technique can help you. Take a break. Take a break after every 35 to 40 minutes of constant sitting on your chair. Believe me, constant sitting gives rise to illnesses like diabetes, like blood pressure, heart illness. So take a break after 30 minutes or 45 minutes of hard work. Stretch yourself. Listen to a light music if you can. Sip a cup of tea mindfully. Mindfully means there and then. Okay. And I have the next slide. Yeah, this is my last slide. You guys can wake up now who are sleeping at the last row. So my take-home message is from this painting, which I downloaded from the movie called Welcome and made by someone Majnu Bhai. Stress is like this donkey who is a nonsense thought on your mind, which is a horse here in this painting. We are all inevitable to stress. Believe me, I am also stressful right now, though I'm not showing you my own stress because I am delivering the lecture to such an elite and intellectual class. I know I must be judged by yourself, but I am not bothered. Mental peace is a skill you have to develop. You have to practice your mindfulness to be where you are actually. Take self care. You get to live once only, so please do take good self care of your own self. Set a boundary, try to say no to certain jobs which are not so important for your own health. So peace is a process, and it's not a destination. Our own mental health is a dynamic thing. You must have noticed. You are stressed at one moment, you are relaxed at the other moment. So mind and mental health is a zigzag sine wave kind of thing. Is a it's like waves in a sea. It comes, it goes. If you require any help, let me know. My last slide: when to seek a help of a psychiatrist. You can meet me or any other psychiatrist available to you either online or in person. When you feel these symptoms in you, please read this slide. You can take a screenshot of the slide. If you have, or any one of your close one is suffering from insomnia, not able to sleep, there is a change in appetite, easily becoming irritable, anger, difficulty in focusing to oneself, lack of sexual desire, a very, very important but undiscussed matter in the society. Lack of libido or a sexual desire is many times, and rather most of the times, is a reflection of underlying mental illness. Thoughts of suicide or self harm, anybody is having that, or anybody you suspect to be having, you can save a life. You can refer him or her to a psychiatrist. Last but not least is increasing indulgence in alcohol, which is the wrong way of handling stress. I know alcohol reduces stress and brings down your stress level, but it is temporary. It's not for lifetime. And gradually, alcohol or drug makes you tolerant, makes you dependent on the drugs or alcohol. With this, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to end my small talk. It's exactly 32 minutes. I think I am well in time. I would love to answer any questions if time permits us. Why does, just a minute, I could not, if anybody wants to ask any question, I'm open to take that.
Yes, doctor, I can see there is a question for you. It
Yes,
is
madam.
saying, yeah, why does access to professional mental health support often come with a high price tag?
Yeah. Here I am now. Why does access to professional mental health come on? Yes, you are right. Absolutely right, madam. Absolutely. A very, very valid question. And most of the insurance companies, they don't cover psychiatric or mental health. We are taking up a case. We are in the process of discussing with the authorities to give some kind of a subsidy or some kind of insurance cover for psychiatric help. Believe me or not, the price tag does not come to psychiatrists. The reason what I can make out, psychiatrists are very less in number. That is perhaps that is why the psychiatric consultation fees is quite high. I'm personally not very happy with it because of two reasons. One, the person who is suffering from a psychiatric illness is not that productive, so he or she cannot afford that much of a price. So we are discussing with our authorities and executives in insurance companies to include psychiatric services in the schemes. Some premium insurance companies, they are covering psychiatric uh, uh, mental health also in their services, but we have a long way to go. A very valid question, a very good question rather. Good. I don't know what balance feels like anymore. How do I start finding it again? Yeah, yeah, you are right. Uh, Mr. Arpel Damot. I don't know what the balance feels like anymore. You are absolutely correct, dear. The balance is there is a dissolution of our work life and our personal life because of something called as email, something called as WhatsApp, something called as a mobile transmission. The moment we start staying, we start spending our life with parents and wife, we get a we get a call from somebody. Try to restrict your mobile, your unnecessary calls. You have to say no to unnecessary commitments. Prioritize your requirements. Prioritize it. Try to say no. I would suggest rather be sometimes be rude than be successful and stressful. Success and stress goes hand in hand in unfortunately in today's life. You have to search that balance. It's a very difficult thing to do. It's like balancing on a seesaw. I am myself practicing in my life after so many years of my experience in mental health. So very I like the question, but you have to practice this. It is a piece, is a constant process. Any madam would like to love to answer any questions if you. A very common thing I'm witnessing these days, I must share my experiences also, is attention deficit. Now, why attention deficit is coming these days? Because we are training our mind to flip from one topic to another topic, right? We are seeing reels like tuck, 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 tuck. You must have seen many of the youngsters, 15, 16 years, boys, girls, they are flipping from one point to another point. So that is giving rise to attention deficit. In a normal conversation, the attention span is just 8 seconds. 8 seconds. So if you are talking to your child, if you're talking to someone who's close to you, will listen to you all just for 8 seconds. And next, sometimes I feel like I am just surviving, not really living. Is that poor work-life balance or something else? Well, this is. I feel like I'm just surviving. This typical sentence is called as burnout syndrome. Burnout syndrome is a term included by WHO in 2019. It is a reflection of how being in high stressful work or high stressful domestic sphere of life. The person feels like he जीने के लिए कमा रहा हूँ कि कमाने के लिए जी रहा हूँ. This is I mean in Hindi or in Urdu it is said like that, whether I'm living for earning or I'm earning to living, like I'm just breathing. In psychiatry it is called anhedonia, not able to enjoy. If that is the situation, if you have reached to a burnout stage, number one, take take a break, try to resolve those unsolved issues, and no, don't feel stigmatized. Be bold. Consult a psychiatrist. We all psychiatrists and mental health workers are more happy to help. This sentence reflects a very very high underlying mental turmoil. So it's a typical burnout syndrome. Yeah, and any further questions from any side? Hello, doctor. Can you suggest how to manage stress from when you are stuck in a discussion between a mother and wife? Well, 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 well. Mother and wife. Well, even I have not eh, I mean, excelled in, or not perfectionist in this kind of a question. The best way is, a wife cannot be a daughter. A daughter cannot. I mean, I'll repeat it again. A wife cannot be a daughter for a mother, right? So there is a natural kind of enmity for every mother-in-law towards her daughter-in-law. I mean, I am again saying this with a pinch of salt, because this is not a universal truth, but there exists a kind of insecurity in most of the mothers. uh, they say that since my son is married, he listens more to his wife. So there is a kind of, you see, possessiveness of every mother towards her her child, which she fails to share it with anybody. So that subconscious conflict goes, and vice versa. When you listen to your mother, you're labeled as a mama's boy. When you listen to your wife, you are something called your wife's slave. So you must accept that this kind of a enmity or this kind of conflict is a natural thing among mother and daughter-in-law. The best way is to stay away, because you can't solve it, you can't help it. So try to just listen, be neutral, don't get involved, because you can't afford to take any kind of panga or conflict or an argument either with your mother nor with your wife. So stay away. Hi, doctor. Oh, what should I do if I feel guilty of taking breaks or saying no? No, 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 no. This is a typical sentence from a hardworking, honest, sincere worker, which in today's world are very, very prone for stress. You have to practice saying no. Dear, you have to. No, no, no. This again is I disagree. Should I? I do feel guilty of taking breaks? Damn it! You are not made for to work. God has given you life to enjoy, also, my dear. So don't feel guilty. Now there is another aspect of it. If you are feeling guilty or unable to enjoy the pleasures of life, there might be some underlying depressive illness, because depressed individual, they cannot enjoy life, they can't, they self blame themselves, that is called guilty. So uh, I leave it to you. Do your introspection in this case, and you should not be guilty of taking breaks, not at all, because actually speaking, the more relaxed you are, the more productive you are. So no, 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 no. If you are feeling guilty, I'm happy to help you. Take the help of a counselor or a psychiatrist. I would suggest psychiatrist is a better person. Next is, I feel like I don't have time for myself. How can I make space for self-care? Well, you see, a lot of our time is spent, or rather s- stolen by social media. Roughly, it is a study has been done. An average individual, when picks up a phone, spends around 23 odd minutes. One, I would suggest you have to limit your social media time, screen time. Make a list of what time you are spending on which activity, right? The activity which is not so essential, you can cut down time and uh, extract that time for your self-care. Self-care means exercise. Exercise is most important. Most of our patients says, I feel so lethargic, I am not exercising. Then I advise them, because you are feeling exhausted, therefore you should exercise, because your endorphins are so low, your good hormones are so low, that they are making you so much lethargic. So you have to make a start. You have to take out time for yourself, my dear. It shows a little bit of I don't mind, but a poor time management. But I also simultaneously accept that we all are overworked to take any self care. How to say no without feeling guilty? Yeah. How to say no? Well, most of the married men, husbands, they should exclude from this question because they can't say no to their families, their wives, and better half. How to say no without feeling guilty? Whether we have to practice it, because by personality, if you are an honest and a hardworking person, it will be difficult for you to say no. If you are a type A personality, ambitious personality, then it will be difficult for you to say no. Imagine, just recall your old school days, the backbenchers. They are type B personalities. They are not so successful in their lives, but they say no without feeling guilty. So, if it is your personality, then you can't do much about it. But you have to practice assertiveness, be polite, be humble, but be assertive, be very straightforward in conveying your no or not acceptance to authorities. In my life, I suffered in my personal life and in my occupational life because of saying no to my authorities many times. But at the end of the day, I feel today I'm a much satisfied, relaxed, uh, uh, s- uh, satisfied doctor, which I can only say that. Next question. Hi, doc. Really nice session. Learned a lot. I have one question. Mindfulness, exercise, reduce stress. Yet, when we are overwhelmed, these are the first things we drop. How do we avoid making self care another guilt inducing stress? No, 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 no. You see, first of all, you have to reframe yourself. Look into the mirror, talk to the person who you are. You are the most important person, my dear, for you, for your family. You are irreplaceable. For your job, for your boss, you are replaceable like this. So start loving yourself. Don't feel guilty at all. You said exercise. Yes, exercise reduces stress because it produces endorphins. There are some chemicals which actually reduces your depression, uplifts your mood. When you are overwhelmed, you're right, it will be difficult, but start practicing deep breathing exercises. The one I just discussed in my start practicing yoga, pranayam, meditation. These are few of the techniques. How can I manage anxiety or physical tension that seems to be caused by someone? Now, who is that someone? You have to sit, talk to yourself, do some introspection. Who is that someone? If that someone is reachable, try to solve interpersonal conflicts with that someone. Try to resolve it if possible. How can I manage anxiety? Now, anxiety has certain physical components also. Like anxiety manifests in many ways, like increased heart rate, headaches, insomnia, palpitation, increase in the heart rate, high blood pressure, tremors of the hand like this, moist palms, dryness of the mouth. These are the physical manifestations of anxiety. So if you are feeling these kind of unpleasant experiences with by someone, you have to discuss this thing. Many of my patients, I have suggested also to them to switch over their job to less demanding job or less stressful job, because believe me, a mental health is very precious. If it gets disturbed, it takes sometimes years together to resolve, to bring it back to the normal. Mental Don't take mental health as, to be granted. Many of my patients, they come to me on an average 5 to 10 years of suffering. So don't take it granted. Must resolve the issue or switch your job in that case. Or the third thing is consult a psychiatrist if you are. I'll be happy to help. No problem in that. Hi doctor, how to avoid high blood pressure due to work stress? You see, work blood pressure is a reflection of work stress. You can't manage high blood pressure. Most doctors are treating high blood pressure only. It is like cutting the leaves of a tree, not the treating the blood pressure from the root level. In Western developed world, blood pressure, diabetes, heart illness is also treated by psychiatrists in a holistic way. And unfortunately, we are neglecting it in developing countries, also in this part of the world to a larger extent, because number one, we are very less in number, the psychiatrists are less in number, and number two, less awareness among doctors towards mental health. How to avoid high blood pressure? Well, you can do breaks, take breaks from work. If you're constantly sitting for 30 to 35 minutes, take a break, stretch your limbs, take deep breaths, and have a cup of tea or listen to some music for a while. Doc, one more question. As a doctor, you are in a profession with catastrophic burnout rates. What work life boundary do you still struggle to maintain despite knowing the risk? Are you asking this as a question directly to me as a person, or is a what work life boundary do you still struggle to maintain despite knowing the risk? Yeah, the boundary, you see, unfortunately, there is no work. Okay, you as an example, fine. You see, I have around 24 years of experience as a doctor, as a psychiatrist, around 18 years of experience. But believe me, I am still not a perfect person in my own domestic sphere in handling work life balance. But I must make a confession to you all in this discussion. I play 60-40 role in my life. 60% I give to my family. I have two beautiful daughters. I have a lovely wife. Unfortunately, I lost my parents, but now give 60% of my time and my priorities to my family, my personal life. Work is on the back seat. And that's one of the reasons I am not that successful uh, from the perspective of the life. But I am a successful father. I'm a successful husband, a son, or I'm happy with it. So you have to prioritize it and you have to practice it. Um, that's the was the I can answer in that case. Yeah, any further question if you have? Thank you for your answer. Okay. Thank you. But I'm still practicing my work-life balance. It's not so easy. It's not so easy. Hi, doctor. How can I better manage anxiety or emotional fatigue from work? Emotional fatigue or anxiety from work. Emotional fatigue or anxiety from work is synonymous of burnout syndrome. Take a break, take a leave, spend some time with your family, with your friends, with your like-minded people. Okay. Uh, if it is still unmanageable, please consult a psychiatrist for anxiety-related issues. It is a possibility that uh, you may be having an underlying generalized anxiety disorder or a adjustment disorder with depressed mood or a frank depression. But if it is not manageable, please take the help of a psychiatrist. Don't feel stigmatized. Don't feel shy to visit a psychiatrist. I must share few examples. Many of the successful Hollywood actors like Jim Carrey, like Harrison Ford, and many successful politicians in the Western world, they visit their psychiatrist just like any other doctor. So be I greet my patients with a salute. I Because they have come to me, or they have been brought to me, because it's okay to be not okay, right? So don't be disheartened, and if you want a help for your anxiety related issues or emotional fatigue, I can help you out. And you can also solve it out with discussing with your elders, with your seniors, or with your colleagues, or with me, or with any psychiatrist. Okay, but the statement is quite negative. I must say that. Don't worry about it. We are all with you.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for this session. Thank you all for participating.
Thank you for it. Thank you very much. Have a nice
Thank
day.
you.
Take
Thank
care.
you. You too. Bye bye.
Take care.